What's up, everybody? Welcome back. We're streaming some more World. Ooh, I got a burp. Of Warcraft. What up, Moose?
Yeah, how's it going, dude?
Going good, man. Going good. Alright, so we're heading to the Badlands then, huh?
Yeah, I'm running there now. I'm trying. Oh, dude, this...
Have you put any thought toward what kind of server or what server you guys are going to be joining?
Yeah, definitely a PvP server.
100%, okay.
Yeah, no doubt.
I've got some guys coming from Australia, some Oceanic guys, and some European guys, so I'm thinking East Coast or Central, whichever provides them a better ping.
Yeah, I wonder what one would. I'm sure East Coast probably would.
That's what I'm thinking, but I'm kind of touch base with them. The other thing I'm trying to do, I know this sounds a little hypocrite, I'm trying to avoid like the monstrosity size streamers, because I don't want to deal with that toxicity, like having to deal with an Asmongold or even on
I
our
agree with
side.
that, definitely. I do want like a decently populated
Oh, I
server,
want a
but
high pop server preferably, but that means what we might end up doing. Not 100% sure yet because I don't know how many servers they're going to release from the get go. But it means we might end up having to like jump on a server, and then if they only do like a few servers or whatever, maybe second or third day jump to a new server. That's what I'm saying. Because I want to avoid it on either side. I don't want it on our side either because I think that takes some of the fun out of it and everything. I want to be able to dominate and to be able to fight without like literally you kill one guy and possibly like Asmongold has this habit. I haven't watched his streams because I'm not particularly a fan, but I've heard a bunch. So this is hearsay, keep that in mind. But I hear a lot that say he gets killed and starts screaming, stream sniper, and all that jazz. And then I'm a little afraid that his, band of 50,000 squirts or whatever might decide that they're going to start trying to auto report or report you or whatever. And I know Squelch, they said, is going to be removed, but I don't know if they're going to do something for, say 3,000 reports in a single day or some jazz. I'd
yeah,
rather
that's
just,
true.
I don't know if it's going to happen that way or if it's not. I'd just rather avoid it, the possibility, if all that makes sense.
Yeah, I get that for sure. I definitely don't want like, yeah, I don't know. There could be some toxicity there for sure.
Yeah. Dave, what in the world does that comment mean? Sorry, I'm also talking to stream chat. You know how it is. Is that like a song lyric or some shit? Anyway, yeah. I'm trying to avoid that toxicity. The other thing is, like it or not, like I'm not a huge streamer, and I guess I'm kind of grateful for that. But I just don't want to deal unless like there's a big streamer on both sides. Then it'd be a little bit more fair or a little bit more fun to jump in that. But I don't want to join. Again, I heard about this big streamers at one point, kind of talking about it. At least some of them on our side. I heard about them talking about trying to avoid one another when it comes to picking a server. And to me, that sounds kind of cheesy. Like Asmongold might own a server, Tips Out might own a server, Chance might own a server, or Soda Poppin', whatever you like to call them.
Really interesting.
Yeah, so to me that sounds sort of cheesy, but I don't know. That's all speculative and hearsay. I'd just rather do my best to avoid it. I want a high populated server. In fact, I prefer to be on a server that has slightly more alliance than horde, so that way there's plenty of PvP to be had. You know,
Yeah, it is true.
in original vanilla, we were on an underdog server where we didn't have as many as the enemy had, and I liked it. you gotta grow eyes in the back of your head and all that fun jazz. But it wasn't such a big ass shift that, like, they couldn't, you know, we couldn't do anything about it. Like, if they decided to get up in arms and try to put something together, the Horde had enough people that we could, you know, form up and fight back.
Nice, yeah. That's good. Yeah, it'll be interesting because we don't know how many servers they are releasing yet, do we?
Nope. What up, the bravest? You think all the streamers should pick a single server? That, I think, would be a freaking great idea, actually. So it's distributed equally, and, I mean, it would have to be a big server, because you got to think about, if Soda Poppin' and Asmongold both pick the same server, you know their army of 10-year-olds are going to want to follow with them.
What would you ask?
So, I mean, it would have to be a pretty beefy server size. But I think that's a freaking great idea. Even if, like, they asked all the servers or confined all the streamers to a server, and then you had to elect to go there. So that way you know you're going to deal with the big streamer communities. Because, I mean, like it or not, streamers, and I'm not saying it's from Blizzard necessarily, but streamers do have a little bit of privilege in the fact that they have an army of 30, 40, 50 people around trying to help them get their Gurabashi trinket done first. They have an army of people making sure that they're fully enchanted and get all they have to do is, hey guys, you want to help me farm this, or grab this, or do this quest? They got an army at their disposal to get that done, lickety-split.
Yeah, definitely. No, I do get that.
If you kill Asmongold somewhere out in the world, all he's got to do is say, hey guys, there's a little bit of PvP here, or this guy killed me, or corpse camped me, or whatever. The army would come out there, 60, 70, 80 people coming after you, and you know, if he mobilizes them, they're going to be trying to corpse camp the heck out of you. Thankfully, as a druid, we have stealth, so it's not a giant deal, but you know it still exists.
Yeah, dude, definitely. I think that, like, I think Esfand and Asmongold,
they're going to be together,
like,
I
growing,
think.
yeah, and, like, stay safe. And I think Soda Poppin said he was going to, like, not stream for a couple months when Classic came out.
Apparently, a couple of them said that. I don't know how true that is. And like I said, some of them even said they're going to try to not be on the same server as like the opponent side streamers or whatever. The bravest, I agree. I'm not saying that Blizzard gave them streamer privilege. I don't ever want to give that have that coming out of my mouth. The only thing I think that they gave the streamer privilege for is they flew them over there. So they got a sneak peek at the beta access, and they knew when it was coming out, and all that was done on Blizzard's dime. They got flown out there, got set up, and all the amenities paid for and everything, and got to probably check out the beta before it went public, quote unquote, closed beta public, and got information on dates and all that kind of jazz. That's the extent of the streamer privilege, and from a business perspective, that's a smart thing. Like, I can't fault anyone who faults Blizzard for doing that is a fool, because Blizzard doesn't have to pay for commercials. I mean, you remember they used to have commercials that they aired and stuff like that with Mr. T playing World of Warcraft and Chuck Norris on World of Warcraft and Terry Crews on World of Warcraft, all that kind of stuff, and they don't have to do that. This is free advertising for them, and it's a symbiotic relationship. The streamers also monetizing the content, so it's a great deal both ways. Flying a few streamers out costs way less than trying to get airtime. But anyway, that's the extent of the quote-unquote Blizzard privilege, in my opinion. I don't think Blizzard's trying to offer them anything extra or making sure they got guaranteed spots on anything or giving them free subs even when it comes to live launch. I think they're going to have to pay for it. I don't know that for a fact, but I mean, maybe they won't. But I don't think Blizzard's going out of their way to make it easier on the streamers. But as you said, the community, definitely, their communities are definitely giving them an edge. So, and I can't fault that per se. I mean, they're a populace, they're a group of people. Back when I was guild leader on in the Burning Crusade, we were number 1 in PvP, number 3 in PvE, and I happened to be the guild leader at the time. If I said, hey, guys, who wants to go raid Stormwind? I'd have a group of 30 guys like, yeah, hell yeah, that sounds fun. And even now, like Aiden came in here earlier, he's gonna be a newcomer joining us, and he's talking about coming up with crazy cool plans, like getting a bunch of warriors to pull out some of the guards at the gate, sneaking a bunch of rogues and druids in, and one warlock, and then just start summoning everybody in like a pantry or some shit. And then we start kicking down the closet door and raiding Stormwind from within. That sounds fun as heck.
Hell yeah. Dude, I used to do that stuff a lot, like getting a warlock into the tram. Just like log a level 20 warlock in there with a lot of shards.
Yeah. Oh yeah, and if you, I mean, there's the rare spawn croc, and there's a few things you can kill to actually farm shards there, just not a whole lot. I remember that Toyota of Tacoma, the big city in my country, had an ad for WoW where a group was talking about mounts, and one of them summoned a Toyota pickup. Oh, I remember that commercial. I think I'm pretty sure I remember which commercial you're talking about. Most of mine were like a celebrity, like Chuck Norris was like, I play I don't know, a hunter or a warrior because I have the spirit of a warrior, and like someone played a hunter, and they talked about their class very briefly and laughed about it or whatever, and that was like the commercial, I guess. They were just shoving the fact that it's, hey, celebrity, wow, here's our character, done. That's, I thought, I mean, a lot of people saw those commercials. That's the ones I remember anyway.
Dude, I remember,
I remember seeing one with Chuck Norris, Mr. T, and Terry Crews. I'm sure there were others, but...
What's the Terry Crews?
The huge black dude that's like all into weightlifting, and he played in White Chicks and several other movies. He was the dad on Everybody Hates Chris.
Yeah, I know who he is. I don't remember that, but that's tight. That's cool that he did one.
Oh, and there was one other one. There was Mr. T, there was Chuck Norris, there was Terry Crews, and then there was Macho Man Randy Savage did one of them. Jeez, that's an old name. Like that's old. Like that was literally the last thing I remember seeing of his is a World of Warcraft commercial, because before that I hadn't seen like anything all the way back to his Slam into a Slim Jim, oh yeah, commercials,
That's funny as shit, dude.
I don't know how old you are, but man,
like
Macho Man Randy Savage.
Died.
Go ahead.
WoW was the end of their career, their WoW commercial.
Well, I mean, he was like nowhere to be seen for the longest time. He was a wrestler, pro wrestler or whatnot, and then he stopped doing that when I was young. And then I remember seeing him on some advertising, usually Slam into a Slim Jim. He did that for a few years, but I mean, if you remember Macho Man Randy Savage, then you're obviously fairly old. And I remember that one WoW commercial.
Hold on, I'm Googling him right now.
Let's see. Do you think they're gonna add more players to the beta? It seems a lot of streamers have been complaining about low pops. That's because I imagine like a lot of the regular players might have done about all they can do in beta, and they said it very intentionally. I'll say it that way. They said it very intentionally that they're going to keep the beta server low pop. I do believe they might send out some more invite waves if, for example, the population dwindles at all or whatnot. But I don't think they said they're going to intentionally keep it very low pop. Like, the initial wave was like 1,000 people, I think, and then they went up to maybe 1,500 or 2,000. These are speculative numbers, by the way, guys. Don't take it for genuine fact. These are just my guesses. And then like 2,500, 3,500, and maybe up to 5,000 at peak. But they said that they were going to intentionally keep it low. It would not surprise me, as a matter of fact, if the beta is literally on just some beefy X or N series server, and it's just a virtual machine that we're playing on. Because that's one of the main reasons I can imagine that they're going to keep it low pop. Because this is not going to be one of their standard servers. I can guarantee that. And it already changed locations and time zones once. I don't know how many people noticed that. But it used to be 3 hours behind me, now it's 1 hour behind me. So maybe it started out as a virtual machine, and then in order to make it a little bigger, maybe they moved it to a server in Central Time Zone. I don't know. These are just guesses. I think they want to keep players on retail instead of Classic Beta. I mean, technically, because Classic Beta doesn't require a subscription. Whereas, I don't know if you guys know about it, that new stress test that they rolled out last time, you had to have a subscription in order to play that one. Like, I was all excited because some of my buddies were like, yes, finally got into a stress test. And, you know, they were like, let's go play it together. And I was like, hell yeah, let's do this. I was ready to level 15 a few times with them, but I hadn't been subscribed. I'm not subscribed, and I've got access to the beta, but I tried to log on there, and I had to download a new client. And when I attempted to log in, it's like, nope, you need a subscribed account to do this. So I was like, oof. Big oof there. Shit, I got 20 out of 20 quests. I gotta drop one. Let's see. There we go. That'll be the one I drop.
Need assistance?
Which one are we doing? Study of the elements, or the
I picked up both of them.
Oh, who's dueling? I want to duel. Both.
That was just, this is so bad. Oh, it's not good.
Alright, let me find another quest to drop.
He just like one-shot me with his spec. That's insane.
One shot you?
Yeah. He can one-shot you. He's
Scylla?
probably on cooldown right now. Yeah. I picked up both the quests, so.
Yeah, I'm doing the same. Abandon.
Pleased to meet you.
Oops, that's the current one.
Off and away. Can I help you? You have a great day now.
I want to do. Sad face. Can I get some water? You might as well put that on a macro. If you're planning on going Umkin.
Sure. Oh, fuck.
Oh, he gave me water. Are my bags still full? Holy crap, they're really close to full.
It's too far away.
That's pretty much the only AoE a druid gets right there. Until like TBC.
Got that bear swipe.
I think it was called Lacerate in TBC, but Swipe is pretty much garbage. We got an alliance that we're pinging? What are we pinging over here?
Maybe.
It's too far away. I'm out of range.
Elemental Earth.
I'm not getting these fucking stones, dude.
Yeah, pretty low drop rate.
What's the quest called?
This one's Study of the Earth Rock, or the Elemental Rock. Get your pet off growl macro, right? That would be another one. Or whenever you're making shortcuts the bravest, right? For Lower Blackrock Spire, don't forget to put up your pets, Warlocks and Hunters. Was this all the Earth Elementals, or were there a few more on the other side?
I have no idea. I'm just following these guys. Here it is, cool. Yeah, I got 0. Fuck.
Or do I need more practice against well, I need more practice against what are we disbanding the party for?
He's trying to get us on a different layer.
Oh yeah, I forgot about that. Oh, sure enough, I think I switched. Nope, never mind. No, I didn't. Just the corpse disappeared.
Yeah, I see you.
I think in order to actually switch layers, we'd have to like fly out or fly back or switch to the other Eastern Kingdoms or whatever the other one is. Which one are we on? We're
Yeah,
on
I think
Eastern,
he has
so
a
Western.
friend that's inviting him from another layer. Like, he just got invited right now. He'll send me an invite. He just disappeared.
See, and that's another thing that that is very likely to be manipulated. Oh, yeah, this time for damn sure I just switched. Whoop! And I'm in the middle of a bunch of Earth Elementals. This works.
I need to get closer. It's too far away. Closer.
To help our mage here, maybe.
I'm out of range. I need to get closer.
They just resist all of this.
It's too far away. I don't have to.
I'm dead serious though. I mean, I like the idea of freaking sharding for the first week in starter zones better than this layering nonsense.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm not a big fan of that either, but I
They're
mean, I
gonna
like
get,
it
if they're
better.
gonna get rid of it anyway, might as well just make it the system that they already
out
have
of
set up last year.
Well, you gonna play Horde or Alliance? I'm gonna go with Horde, definitely. Did you form a guild with your buddies yet? These... I mean, I'm in a home guild right now, which is like a big streamer guild, I guess. It started out with Tips Out and who else? Oh, and Chance, aka Soda Poppin'. It started out with those guys together.
It's too far away. I'm out of range.
I'll get this little guy. I've got a level 1 Starfire on macro. I got Chirp. How about it, Bravest? Are you planning on playing some World of Warcraft? Let me give you a tip here, buddy. There is a correct answer for that question. Oh, I gotta sneeze. Woo! Managed to mute just in time. Feels good. Oh, shit! Oh, excuse me. Didn't know that one was coming.
I'm out of range.
Oh my gosh, this is such a low drop rate. This reminds me of the zebra hoofs, or excuse me, zebra hoofs in the Baron's quest, which ironically, I had no problem with on this beta. Like, I remember back in the original Classic or whatever, that thing, you could kill 40, 50, 60 zebras for those 4 hoofs. And I think I got it in like 5 zebras, all 4 hoofs that I needed.
Oh damn, nice. I had some quests of like, I don't know, like I got the quest item on the first kill, like a quest, but it's taking me like hours sometimes to get it. Not hours, like 30, 45 minutes.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
But it's game of
It's too far away.
That's actually a really crappy item. Unless you got a shaman tank, which, I mean, they apparently existed.
I'm out of range. First.
Although I never really saw very many of them. Yeah, Nathan, we're back. I told Moose that I'd help him get his farming done. I mean, we're gonna do a quest, I think, and then maybe do some farming on Cathedral. I'm not sure. It depends on how long all this takes. I'm a man of my word. Oop. Okay. Keep forgetting when we do this switch that I'm gonna be in the middle of a bunch of elementals.
It's too far. I need to get closer. It's too far away.
Damn it, get over here. There. Oh, did that one go back? Surely he didn't go back. I think that one went back.
I think we overpooled it, to be honest.
Oh, you think?
Oh no, I don't know. This mage just got it. He knows it's good.
Yeah, no stress. switch back to Mograin's Might so I don't accidentally use charges again. Earlier today I used like 3 or 4 accidental charges on some of my crowd pummelers. I changed the hotkey around. Well, I've got like, I don't know, 10 or so of them. But yeah, it was...
Okay, nice.
Yeah, they're super easy to farm. That's a smart call, bravest. Taurens are butamus. Sexfluent decisions. That one will die on its own now. Aha! We got 2.
I'm out of range.
That was sarcasm.
I'm out of range.
What's up?
Never mind.
The Staff of
Party
Jordan
chat.
comment?
Yeah, yeah, it's just like, yeah, Staff of Jordan, it's mine.
Oh, yeah, no, I figure that'll be a greed thing for everybody. If that little booger decides to drop. I heard, now I didn't play past Burning Crusade, but I heard they eventually gave druids, wands. Is that true, or do you know?
I don't think so, no. I
Okay.
don't think they gave him wands.
Yeah, I wasn't sure. Like I said, I only ever played till the Burning Crusade. I played through all of the Burning Crusade, and I played everything in vanilla up till Nax. I quit before Nax came out, so I never got to play with Nax.
I played every expansion, so, but I don't play Druid on retail.
What's your retail persona?
I play Paladin, Monk, and Warlock.
Warlock's a pretty solid.
I just picked up Lock recently. Well, not last 2 expansions, but I never play him for long. I don't know. I really like Arena though. The game's just broken sometimes.
Mm-hmm. What'd you play before the Bravest? Did you play Alliance or Horde? Because I was Alliance in original Classic, and then I went Horde for TBC.
Whatever. Best stance now, so.
Hey, here's another thing. I wasn't sure if they got this till TBC or not. Do Moonkin have slow fall in vanilla when they fall off of something high and hit spacebar?
No.
Because I know they had that in TBC.
inventory is full.
Inventory full. I can get rid of this and this. Let me see if anyone wants this.
That would be steep. It's too far away. I'm out of range.
Never played vanilla, but my dad did. Oh, you use your dad's account. Oh, by the way, Bravest, I've been meaning to ask you, are you the same guy who used to chill out with Cryptic Edge? Because he has that same name, the Bravest, and I wasn't sure if this is you or not. Oh, okay, fair enough. Yeah, I wasn't sure. Didn't mean to be rude asking. I thought about asking it earlier, but I'm like, sounds like a douchebag thing to ask. But, you know, I'm a douchebag, so.
It's too far away.
18, that's young. Do you have all your stones?
I'm out of range. I need to get closer. I'm out of range.
Ugh. Oh, I got it.
It's too far away. Target.
I was about to say, old enough for you to die for your country, though. I'm sure it's a super unpopular opinion, but I feel like if you're old enough to die for your country, you ought to be old enough to have a drink. And honestly, in most states, you are old enough to drink at 18, in some cases even earlier, like 13. Oh, hey, an alliance. But that's under parental supervision. do you live that they're doing that? Not that I disagree with it. I mean, ironically, smoking's bad for you. But, yeah. Oh, Washington. If you're still in Discord, Moose, I'll see you tomorrow or later, brother.
I'm out of range.
Now, smoking marijuana, while I'm not saying I advocate it, don't do drugs, kids, I don't think that's necessarily all that bad. I'm just saying. I'm also not saying I'd go back to doing it either. Oh, what can I drop now? Ooh, hiccups. Oh, what else can I drop, though? Oh, there's something. Real quick, I gotta go hit a vendor up. that everything? Yeah.
Go for the victory.
What? You can't vape at 20 or 18? That's, I don't know, that's sort of dumb. I don't know, that's... I could understand not letting people vape at high school too, though. I mean, it could be considered disruptive or whatever.
I'm out of range.
I never played a shaman, but I got to see some pretty crazy shamans, including like one of the very first multi 5-boxers. That guy was scary.
Range.
Hi, how are you? Alrighty then.
What up, Santa? How you doing? Shamans are pretty dang strong, so I mean, I could see you wanting to play a shaman. They're one of the other versatile classes. What's going on, Kenan? How you doing? Are you a DPS druid or a healer druid? I'm actually a mix, but I'm more feral DPS than I am Healy druid for dang sure.
My, you're a
But I'm
tall
a
one.
splash into all three.
Off and away.
Sounds good, Kenan. Thank you for coming in and saying, hey, man. It means, I know it's just a little thing, but I really do appreciate it. It means a bunch that you'd want to stop in just for that, man.
It's too far away. I need to get closer. Inventory is full.
How do I stream all the time and not get burnout? It's pretty simple, Bravest. Like, I know this is gonna sound really weird when it comes to YouTube and all that jazz, but the simple truth is, I don't look at the metrics. I don't care about the metrics. I found a while back, if you're looking at the views and you're doing all that jazz, then you start caring way too much about the YouTube metrics, and then you'll get burned out of it. All you gotta do is do something you enjoy doing and that you would be happy to do even if no one was ever watching you. You know? Which is easier to do, say, for a streamer than it is for like someone who edits videos. So that's the simple truth of it right there.
Inventory is full.
But yeah, if you're worried about your sub count, like if I cared about my sub count, I'd have quit a long time ago, because YouTube has done a bunch of things to throw a wrench in the plan, right? Like, quite frankly, for the last 6 months to a year, I've been steadily hovering within 100 subs of where I'm at right now, but I don't really care about that. What I care about is putting together an awesome community, which has definitely been coming together. I mean, all these guys I chill with every day, I wouldn't have known the vast majority of these guys if I didn't stream, and I'm so glad I do, because they come in here and they become a part of the community, and they're wicked awesome. The numbers on a piece of paper, I don't stress over that. YouTube's doing like sub purges or whatever very consistently, and frankly, as I mentioned before, when I got that copyright strike, that was like 4 months where I couldn't stream at all, and that hurt the channel a whole bunch too. But you know, I don't stress over all that. It doesn't do any good. I feel like there's more here that I can get rid of. Ooh, hiccups. Are any of these out of charges? Nope, okay.
Dub.
And the other thing is, YouTube's algorithm is a complete mess, if we're being 100% honest. Like, if you stream or do content every single day, then, I mean, they might suggest you. Since I got this copyright strike, and since, like, I'm not quote-unquote kid-friendly, because swears sometimes come through, and we talk about all sorts of stuff in our streams, there probably won't suggest, that's a huge metric on YouTube, rather I should say, that would never see my streams. So I mean their metric is, or their, not metric, what's the word I'm looking for? Their algorithm's pretty disgusting. If you do something every day, then you might get in front of new eyes. And it used to be if you did something every day, it was like an honorary system, like they would put you in front of more people, but now it's like if you don't do it every day, then it's a demerit system, more like you don't get put in front of as many people, if that makes sense. I don't know, it sounds kind of cheesy or whatever. As long as you're consistent, then you'll end up getting some new people coming to you. Once a week, very few. Once a month, I mean, you basically get nobody. Once a week, very few. 3 times a week, still few, but a little bit more than once a week. Every day is pretty much what you have to go on. The other thing, and this is no secret either, but YouTube might not admit to it right off, as much as I hate to say it, YouTube is not a fan of gaming videos. You're much more likely to be suggested or whatever if instead of doing gaming videos or let's play videos, you did what's new in gaming news kind of videos, or reviewing a game videos. But if you're doing actual gameplay videos, then they're, for whatever reason, YouTube's not all over that. They're not real keen on it. Anyway, I hope this has been somewhat helpful for you. That is another thing I wanted to mention that's kind of bad. If you ever let your video or your YouTube channel die, so to speak, reviving it takes significantly longer than starting up a new one, if that makes sense. I'm not saying it'll take you longer to get back to where you are and start growing again. I'm saying if you come back and you start doing a video a day, even though you came back, it's not gonna feel like you have that same energy that you had from before when you were doing a video a day. It's gonna take a little longer. It's gonna take a few weeks or a month till you start seeing that synergy and that growth start coming in again. But you just gotta keep at it. That's really the big thing. Oh, there's one. if you have the opportunity or the option to stream, I would advise even streaming on your days where you're not editing. And here's another big thing. If you're just now getting back into it, I suggest before you even start releasing your first video, Bravest, get about 2 weeks worth of content ahead, 2 weeks to a month. So in other words, make and edit videos until literally you could take a month off of YouTube and still have a video go out every single day, or 2 weeks at least. That way, say you can edit videos like every other day, or do a video release schedule of like 3 or 4 a week, or 5 a week, or however many you want to go for. And then on the days where you don't think you're going to get a video out or whatnot, and you don't want to release one of your quote-unquote 2 weeks of saved up videos, and it doesn't have to be like videos that you do and then you put in a folder and just leave alone and forget about for a year until you need to take time off. Like, do it 2 weeks ahead of schedule, so that way, you know, you're never doing just content that becomes stale and is no longer relevant. But so that way you're always releasing at the very, very latest stuff that you did 2 weeks ago. And on other days where you don't feel like you're going to get enough out, or whatever the case may be, those would be days that that you just go ahead and decide to do a real quick live stream on something. Because the live stream is, I'll admit it, low effort. You can have all kinds of neat, fancy little effects like this thing right here. But, I mean, you don't need all that. It's low effort. All I gotta do is set up the YouTube, make sure the tags are correct, edit the description if I'm doing something specific, otherwise just a general description of, say, whatever game I'm playing, what it is, you know, something funny in it, a few keywords, maybe a few hashtags. That's another thing I suggest if you're gonna be making content. Get some hashtags that are channel relevant and put them somewhere in your description or whatever, because you'll notice in this stream there's either 2 or 3 hashtags. I don't remember if I took out the hashtag fun fact one, but there's WAH, hang on, 2 of 5, WAH and the hashtag WifieandHubster. And that helps kind of link all your content. Like if someone finishes one of my videos, like they're actually viewing it and not watching a live stream, like they're going back and watching the VOD, then if they ever finish the VOD, if you've got those tags, it helps make sure your next videos are some of the ones listed in there, because that's relativity. And, you know, YouTube suggests based on what someone likes, how long their eyeballs stay on it, based on the relativity of what they're watching. And those similar hashtags create additional relativity. What else was I gonna do? I was gonna say, oh, but yeah, streams overall, you just, like I said, edit tags, description, thumbnail, yeah, I don't remember what else, some other stuff probably. Set up some push notifications on Twitter or whatever, and then you just push the live button, and if people like your personality, then boom, there it is. That's more important than the gameplay even, unless you're doing like educational videos. Anyway, I have a penchant for trying to help people out, so I hope this information's been helpful to you so far. Yeah, I've got that same thing going on with the pushing through Twitter or whatever. I've still got that set up. I don't even know if it works. I haven't checked on it in so long, but I assume it does. And you know, you're welcome in the Discord. The Discord shrank from like 1,800 members down to like 30 or so. I don't know what we're at now. I imagine we're a little over 30. One of my, like 40 something people now. One of my moderators went rogue and decided to ban 1,800 people. So, we had some spring cleaning on our Discord. But you're welcome to join the Discord too. I know you were in the Discord at one point.
Hey! Be seeing you.
Ugh, Undercity. Actually, Undercity's not that bad. I'm just not as used to it as I am Augerbar.
I'm listening.
Oh, that gurgly sound totally messes with me. I don't like the gurgly sound in her voice. I can't even fake it. Nope, can't fake it. Don't have enough phlegm or whatever. Ugh.
Do not seek death.
What is it? Remember.
you go. And like I said, yeah, 1,800 people got banned, which was almost everyone. I had to go through and manually unban 1,800 people. It was not fun. Oh, but I got it done, so. And then I, of course, banned the rogue moderator. Oh, okay, no worries, Cade. I'll probably still call you Cade or Bravest or something. I don't know. We'll figure it out. We'll figure it out together. So you gonna come play World of Warcraft with us when August patch goes live? August patch. I mean, server goes live. I imagine we're gonna have a pretty nice sized guild coming together. Nice. It'll definitely be a PvP server. It'll probably be East Coast, but maybe Central. Whatever gives my Aussies and my European guys and my Oceanic guys better ping. I'm gonna go with whatever that kind of server is. And the other thing I'm kind of doing, just as a personal thing, I guess, is I'm trying to avoid like the massive streamers. So I don't want to be on a server with like Asmongold or whatever. Except for the beta, I don't mind because obviously there's tons of giant streamers here and they can't have crazy huge communities. They get 40, 50 people together, no problem. But when when Classic goes live, they'll be able to pull thousands of people together and just like that. Oh yeah, no, PvP is definitely what's up. World PvP is my jam. Like in Classic, I ran a guild, and I ran a guild in TBC as well. In Classic, we played on rating as well. Yes, in Classic, no one like kept stats or scores or kept track of who was who. You know, it was all just your server. In the Burning Crusade, however, people actually kept track of which guild was doing what and everything. So in the Burning Crusade, on Coilfang, our guild was number 1 in PvP and number 3 in raiding. So we were pretty up there, either way you look at it. And I'm planning on doing both. PvP is primary when it looks good or when we feel like doing it. I mean, if it's red, it's dead kind of ordeal. And then, you know, we're going to be doing plenty of raiding as well. Oftentimes, the two would kind of merge together. Like, we'd get a bunch of guys together for a raid. We'd have, like, 2 raiding nights. But then there'd be other nights where we're all like, hey, guys, you want to go raid? Oh, I don't know. Let me think of a town. You guys want to go raid Lakeshire? No, that's a horrible example. That's Allied territory. South Shore, there was always a war zone. Anyway, you get the idea. You want to go raid frickin' son of a bitch. No, Sentinel. No, that's another bad example. That's a lot. Oh, there we go. Darkshire. Darkshire would have been a decent example. You guys want to go raid Darkshire? And we'll go raid Darkshire for a while. By the end of it, we realized we had like 53 or 4 people, something like that. It's like, alright, well, we're done doing what we came here to do. Hey, who wants to go raid Molten Core? You know, we get like, I don't know, 38 or so people out of that 50 some odd people going, yeah, sure, I'll come. So oftentimes we'd end up doing raids just on whatever other night too. Whoa! You played Coilfang? Dude, when did you guys play? Because Coilfang was my jam. Emerald Dream, that was my guild. Emerald Dreams. All through the beginning of TBC, all the way up to the middle of it before I quit. And, you know, I think someone took over and still kept it going for a while. I don't remember who I gave it to. But we were number 1 PvP and number 3 on PvE. It was pretty nice. I was a druid on there named Gorith. I had a spin-off guild that a buddy of mine made called Of the Abyss or The Abyss or something with Abyss in it. So it looked like someone's name. They were like an ally guild that they ended up making. Cata through. Oh, okay, so you wouldn't have known then.
Need assistance?
You wouldn't have known of this. Because I don't know, maybe my guild stuck around for part of Cata or whatever, but
Alrighty then. Hey! You have a great day now.
Salutations! Right.
My, you're a tall one. Off and away. Can I help you? Be seeing you.
core of Earth.
Hi, how are you? Alrighty then. Pleased to meet you. You have a great day now.
Nice. You get something I got logged out of YouTube? Oh yeah, no, I'm super hyped for Classic, man. Yeah, you can heal yourself. Shaman is one of those classes where if you're efficient and you manage your mana right, they have very low downtime. Another nice thing about Shaman, I mean, they're honestly one of the nicer levelers because at level 20, I think it is, they get Ghost Wolf form. So they don't have all the as long of travel times as most other classes. They have less downtime if you're efficient with your mana pool. They're a nice leveler. Over here it is 4 a.m. No, I'm disabled, Cade, so I can't really work. I don't sleep like a normal person, and haven't got more than an hour and 45 to 2 hours of sleep since February 2nd, 2013, since I got injured. I wish I could sleep like a normal person, though. And as cheesy as this sounds, you go for a few years without working, you'll start to miss it. Yeah, no, I feel you. Those bills, man. I know this sounds silly, but ride it out as long as you can. If you can still live with mom and dad and whatnot, do it. I moved out when I was 17 years old, which is ancient history, like 20 years ago now. And it wasn't that I didn't like them, it's just, I went out and did my own thing.
I'm out of range. It's too far away.
Smart man, yeah, stay with your parents as long as you can. I love my parents, but I couldn't give up my freedom after I moved out after 17. I hate to do this to all you beautiful people, but it is like 4:06 or something in the morning. I am going to go ahead and call it, I think. If you guys enjoyed the content on this one, feel free to like, follow, subscribe, or all that jazz. Or don't. That's up to you guys. Nobody owns you. I'm going to go ahead and shut it down. I think I'm going to log off here at the arena for the night. As always, I will be striving to be live by 5, and that's Eastern time zone for all you damn time travelers out there. But here, since we've been playing some World of Warcraft, I've actually been streaming much earlier than... Oh, wait, I can't leave yet. I told Turpmane I'd help him out. I gotta go do that. I'll take it all back. We're still here. I'm gonna help him out, then I'm gonna go. Community, you never have to group up in current... Yeah, no, true. No, alright. I'm gonna go on my little rant for you, since we got a few minutes anyway, Bravest. I'm gonna go on my little rant. Because we had a false alarm about leaving. I'm a man of my word. I told Turpmane I'd help him out. And I'm gonna do that. So anyway, 3 things have destroyed retail World of Warcraft, or the experience. Oh, that works. Apparently he's got someone. I'll still go ahead and give him my rant before we leave. Alright. First thing that destroyed current World of Warcraft retail. The looking for group, looking for raid function. With this, the community aspect of World of Warcraft took a huge nosedive, all but literally killing it. I subbed for Legion. I got so excited about the classic World of Warcraft announcement that I tried playing Hearthstone to scratch that World of Warcraft itch. It didn't scratch the World of Warcraft itch. I tried playing Heroes of the Storm to scratch that itch. It didn't scratch that itch. I ended up having a little bit of spare money after doing some work for some family, helping them out. So I went ahead and went like, all right, well, I got a few extra bucks. I'm gonna pre-order Battle for Azeroth. And I'm going to go ahead and, with that, I'll be subscribed for a month. So I played Legion. I unsubscribed, like, before the month was over. Like, by week 2 or 3, I was already unsubbed, and I just played here and there until it was over. Basically, the community aspect all but died. You didn't have to make guilds anymore. That's not important because you can just looking for group, looking for raid your way in. Same with quests, same with dungeons, same with raids. I literally did dozens and dozens, if not hundreds of dungeons where we never said a single thing. I'd go in there, I'd be like, hey guys, I've never done this one, it looks hard, and no one said anything. It's like everyone had their chat turned off. I was sitting there cracking jokes and making, all that kind of stuff. Nothing. Absolutely no response. Right now, current World of Warcraft is a single-player experience in an MMO world. It's a single-player game with a lot of other people. That's what it is right now. And it's sad, but that's what World of Warcraft retail is. So, community, dead. Thanks to looking for group, looking for raid. And a few other aspects, but some of those quality of life things is what did it. Second thing that destroyed World of Warcraft retail. They took away the talent tree. Look, races and had all their own unique racial abilities. And classes all had their unique niche, right? Mages were the vending machine for the raids and the dungeons, and they also had really good utility in the form of CC, and they could do some pretty beast damage. They were glass cannons. They had good utility. Rogues were the people you needed to unlock the chests. They had good sap CC, so they're okay at utility, and they could blind in a pinch. They dealt really good melee damage. Hunters, well, hunters toward the end game weren't that great at raiding, but they were still needed in some boss fights for tranquilizing shot. I mean, if a good, you could tell a good hunter what they were. They brought, everybody brought a different thing to the pack, to the raid. Druids, priests, shamans, paladins, they were healers, they had other things in their kit. Tanks, pretty much just warriors, but you had your occasional paladin off tank, your occasional druid off tank, or main tank in some cases. I mean, they could main tank almost all the content, but they just couldn't do like the highest end raid stuff, but in some cases they were even better off tanks. Now in current retail, even the classes kind of lost their individuality, lost their flair. Every class can basically has a get out of jail free card or some kind of CC block or some kind of blink or some kind of escape, and every class can basically tank, and every class can basically heal, or at least heal themselves, and every class has some form of damage, balance until they lose their identity. And above and beyond just the class identity, you also had talents, and that was the uniqueness of each individual class. That was the flair. That's where you could, I mean, there were some cookie cutter builds, sure, as with any game, but that's where you really found individuality and found niches and found unique ways to play the game and totally changed your character entirely. Now they've got this really cheesy, like, switching your spec thing, and it does disrespect to the druid in a harsh way anyway, because the druid, their whole thing was their utility, right? They could, if they got in danger, they could pop into bear form. If they wanted to do some damage, they're in cat form. If they wanted to heal, they pop out and use caster form, But now if you choose a spec in retail, like, you can only go bear form. You can't even go cat form. Doesn't matter. You don't have it. You don't have the cat form abilities either, and that's trash. That takes away the whole point of their entire kit, is their versatility. Because they're a jack of all trades, master of none. Now they're not even a jack of all trades because of the way they abused them. So the talent tree, losing that, huge loss. Huge loss. People lost, and classes lost their individuality and their personality. Now it's all the same. I mean, it doesn't even matter what classes you bring into a raid or whatever. You just go with when you have the right amount of people, because it doesn't matter what they can do. So that's thing number 2 that destroyed retail. Thing number 3, the final thing, and this one's some people might argue, but hear me out on this one. Flight. Toward the very end of the Burning Crusade, flight became a thing. And don't get me wrong, it was really cool. Everybody liked it. But flight made the world so much smaller, because you could get up and you could go through it really fast, and you could go way up high, and you literally just not even see the world as you're going from zone to zone or place to place or da-da-da-da-da-da-da. Flight made the world smaller, not just because it made traveling so much faster, and it would literally shrink the world because you're going way up in the sky, but it also made the world less dangerous. In Classic and all the way Burning Crusade, all the way up until max level, you had to travel on foot, or travel by Zeppelin, or travel by train, or travel by boat, or travel by this, that, or other, but you had to get from A to B. It wasn't just warping all around everywhere like current retail WoW, where basically you don't walk anywhere. You just warp from here to there to there to there, and that's it. You had to go through the world, and through the world, especially in contested zones, you risked running into Alliance or the enemy faction. You risked running into your enemies. You risked getting ganked on the road by NPCs even. The couriers that are on the opposite factions. The world was more dangerous. The world was more immersive. Having to wait for a boat was a bit of an inconvenience. Yeah, having to fly from Moonglade to Thunderbluff, that's like a 8-minute flight. That's a bit inconvenient, but it's immersion. It makes the world feel fresh. The world is so much smaller in this Classic than it is in retail, but it feels so much bigger because there's more danger and you have to take time to get from A to B. And the other thing about Flight is it basically all but destroyed World PvP, because now if you think there's something gonna happen, you just, it's basically everybody can pull off a Paladin Bubble Hearth. You just blind the opponent, you wait till you're out of combat, and you jump on your mount and you fly up. What are they gonna do now? Nothing. You're in the air. You just stun your opponent, run for a little bit, and then jump on your mount, and then you're in the air. Safe. No problem. There's nothing they can do. There is no World PvP when you can just get up and fly everywhere. In fact, the irony is, I played a Druid in TBC, and the Druid was the only class that could actually fight in the air, because I would just fly way above someone in owl form, because owls you didn't have a cast timer, so you transformed immediately into an owl, fly way above the guy, and then I would transform out of owl and hit him with a moonfire, an instant cast, and on my way down I'd wait until I'm out of combat and then shift right back into owl form and fly back up. I killed so many AFKs above Shatrat that way, it wasn't even funny. I killed tons of people that way, but it's still a cheesy, stupid way to do it. And it's not, it got rid of World PvP. Flight made the world smaller, less dangerous, less immersive, and really dampened World PvP, which was already suffering hugely, bigly, if you can appreciate the reference. Suffering from battlegrounds, which I enjoyed battlegrounds, but they're canned PvP, and arenas. So flight just was the final nail in that coffin, and those are the three things that, in my opinion, destroyed retail World of Warcraft compared to what it is classically. There's my rant for you. You can either agree or disagree, but if you disagree, you're wrong. So there you go. On that note, I'm going to go ahead and take this opportunity. Like I said, the other guy found someone to help him out with his quest. But I didn't want to just be rude and bounce right out. So if you guys enjoyed the content on this stream, feel free to, I'm glad you agree, feel free to like, follow, and subscribe. Or don't, that's up to you guys. Nobody owns you guys. I'm going to be shutting it down. As always, I'll be coming back tomorrow. Always striving to be live by 5, but I've honestly been live way earlier than 5 pretty much all the time since I've been playing this World of Warcraft and really getting into it. Hey, Zillions TV, thank you for following us on D-Live, bro. Or, excuse me, donating. My bad. That's not the same as a follow. But thank you. Thank you for the ice cream. I think that's worth like a couple of Linos or whatever it is on D-Live. Thank you, brother. Hopefully, I'm sorry that you're joining at the end of the stream because I'm getting ready to shut it down. If you guys enjoyed it, like, follow, subscribe, or don't. I'm going to be live again tomorrow, as always. Until the next one, everybody, remember that you rock, and we out. And I'm going to give you guys this thing again because it's fun.